Today, I'm going to be ranking every WrestleMania main event, all the way from WrestleMania 22 to WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. So if you remember from last video, here we have our tier bracket. Up here we have the GOAT category, this is pretty much the best you can get. Then we have the Amazing category, we have the Pretty Good category, the Mid category, the Shit Show category, and the What? Because it was so damn bad category. So without further ado,
let's go!
So as you know, first up we have WrestleMania 22, the champ versus the King of Kings, Triple H versus John Cena. Even though John Cena was the champ, he walked out to a chorus of boos from the Chicago crowd. This was kind of our first taste of like the Cena sucks chants. This is where we started to see that. This is also where Triple H's super diabolical entrances started happening. I really love those. And to the fans' remorse, John Cena did come out on top, retaining his title against Triple H. This is an enjoyable match for me. WrestleMania 22 is a mid pay-per-view as a whole, but I think to start off with a good base, we'll just put it at the top of pretty good. Okay, next up we have WrestleMania 23 in Detroit, Ford Field. Gotta represent the Detroit fam. We had Shawn Michaels versus John Cena for the WWE Heavyweight Championship. Cena had a really cool entrance in this WrestleMania. He came through, crashed through the glass in the Mustang. Awesome moment. This match was pretty good. It started off strong. They were slapping each other. There was a lot of animosity. They built a good story. Of course, Cena dodged the sweet chin music, locked him into the STFU, and Super Cena won again. But for Cena, this was building him up. This was proof that he could go to toe-to-toe with someone like Shawn Michaels. Let's not forget that Shawn Michaels made Cena look like $1 million. But it's a little unfortunate that this match was overshadowed by Trump and Vince McMahon. But nevertheless, I'm going to put it right under Triple H and John Cena in the pretty good category. So next up we have WrestleMania 24 in Orlando, Edge versus The Undertaker with the streak on the line and the World Heavyweight Championship. Now to me, when you have something like the streak and you have something like the World Heavyweight Championship, you put those together and it's just going to make a banger matchup. Edge was super cocky in this match. He was dating Vicky Guerrero of all people, but he also felt like he had nothing to lose. It was a very compelling story. Undertaker apparently had really good health insurance for this match because he took a bunch of crazy bumps. This is one of my favorite streak matches because it genuinely felt like it was on the line. I wouldn't have been surprised if Edge was the guy to end it that night. So for that, we're going to put this in the Amazing tier. Next up, we have WrestleMania 25 in Houston, Texas, Randy Orton versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now I know when you think of WrestleMania 25, you think of Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker with the streak on the line, and that was the bigger match at that event. And it absolutely overshadowed Randy Orton versus Triple H, and even though this was still the main event, they had to deliver, and they did. The match was good, and the storyline building up to this match was so fantastic, so I'm kind of sad that it got relatively wasted, but it was due to unforeseen circumstances that no one really could control. Of course, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels are going to go out there and have a banger. It's just unfortunate, and that for me is going to put it in the pretty good category. Next up, we have WrestleMania 26. This is where they capitalized on that Undertaker match, and they booked Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels in a streak versus career match. This added a ton of layers to this match so they could do it again. The streak at this point was 17-0, so I really wouldn't have been surprised if they would have ended it there. I mean, Shawn Michaels really is the guy. He would have been the guy to do it. The match ended with HBK refusing to go down, daring the Undertaker to hit him with another tombstone piledriver, and the Undertaker did that for the 1-2-3, and Shawn Michaels' WWE career was over. Not really. We don't talk about that. This is one of those instances where it's less about the match and more about the story. They absolutely wanted this to be an emotional performance, and I think it's fantastic. So for that, I'm going to put it just above Undertaker and Edge in the Amazing category. Once I get a few more in here, I'm probably going to start moving these around as well, so they are subject to change. Okay, next up we have WrestleMania 27, The Rock versus John Cena. Nope, it was The Miz versus John Cena. Everybody gets this wrong. It was The Miz versus John Cena for the World Heavyweight Championship, and they're always like, no, The Rock was in there too. Wrong. You're wrong. The Rock hosted the WrestleMania and just injected himself like Dwayne does into the match. The match was kind of paced weird. They both felt like they were waiting for something to happen, and that something was The Rock. He rock bottomed John Cena and handed The Miz the win, so you could say that The Miz won the WWE Championship in the main event of WrestleMania, but nobody really cared. Everyone was focused on The Rock and John Cena. The Miz also got a really nasty concussion, so it didn't really look like he cared either. It's just a real big overshadowed vibe, but I don't think it's bad by any means, so I'm going to put it in the bottom of the pretty good category. Next up, we have WrestleMania 28, once in a lifetime, until they did it next year. Shh, spoiler. This was the match everyone had been waiting for, the passing of the torch match. The Rock obviously cost Cena his title, so it was time for him to get his get back. This match was very slow, it was very dramatic. I think it was definitely a great showcase of both of their skills, but that crowd in Miami was hot. I mean, they would pop every time one of them blinked. And just when you thought that finisher fest was over and John Cena was going to win, The Rock flipped him up and hit him with the people's elbow, 1, 2, 3 for the win. The torch did not get past The Rock. walked out victorious, proving that part-timers can show up and win whatever the fuck they want. This match had a huge vibe to it, one of the biggest matches of all time. It heated a lot of publicity, and I will say I do enjoy it. I don't have any problem with this match. I do currently have a bad taste in my mouth about Dwayne Johnson, but that's for another video. But nevertheless, I'm still going to put this at the top of the pretty good section. Next up, we have WrestleMania 29 in New Jersey, the once-in-a-lifetime turned twice in a decade, which is actually a pretty good deal. John Cena versus The Rock for the WWE Championship. Adding that title made it feel bigger, and they made the storyline a little bit more personal, adding to the build. The Rock beat Cena clean the year before, so you know Cena was on the track to get his get back. Was it a finisher fest? Yes. But this match is what the match previous should have been. It was for the title. There was a passing of the torch. There was no overhyped, crazy long build-up. John Cena was able to complete the attitude adjustment on The Rock. Was it better than the year before? Yes. But we had already seen it, so I'm going to put it directly under the year previous. So moving on, we have the WrestleMania 30 main event. WrestleMania 30 is a revolutionary pay-per-view in so many ways. Daniel Bryan was the main underdog in this match, who had been constantly pushed down and bullied by Triple H, so Daniel Bryan fought Triple H at the start of the event, and the winner will be interjected into the main event of Randy Orton and Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship. Batista and Orton teamed up on Daniel Bryan like two jocks trying to shove him into a locker. We saw Batista bomb into an RKO through an announce table. And Daniel Bryan, with one functioning arm, was able to lock in the yes lock on Batista, and he tapped. The boyhood dream on Bourbon Street was achieved. Daniel Bryan won the World Heavyweight Championship, and this is one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history. It was an organic build. The fans were completely behind Daniel Bryan. The confetti fell, grown men cried, Michael Cole screamed like there was bees chasing him.
He's also suffering from anal bleeding.
What?
It was a fairy tale ending to a WrestleMania, and it's one of my favorites. Therefore, it is going to be our first edition into the GOAT tier. So coming up next, we have WrestleMania 31, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this was a match with not a lot of hype to it because people did not want to see Roman Reigns. People thought that Vince McMahon was shoving him down our throats, and that would only continue for the foreseeable future. I personally liked Roman Reigns. I was a little bit younger at the time, so I think what they were doing was sort of rubbing off on me, but I really enjoyed this match, and this is one of my personal favorite WrestleMania main events of all time, and only for one reason. That is because during the middle of this match, Seth Rollins came out and cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase, which is the first cash-in at WrestleMania of all time, and by God is that shit iconic. Rollins curb stomped both of their asses and walked out of there with the World Heavyweight Championship. Him swinging that title around at the end of the ramp, cinema. This match was a chaotic masterpiece in my opinion, and I'm going to put it in between John Cena and HBK and John Cena and Triple H, in the pretty good category. So coming into the next year, we have WrestleMania 32, Triple H versus Roman Reigns, and Triple H is defending his World Heavyweight Championship because Roman Reigns was snubbed the year before, and that was the story leading into that matchup. And it was the same story as last year. Not a single soul wanted Roman Reigns to win in that arena, and it was a castrate of boos that entire match. They even booed Triple H, people. I don't know what the hell was going on that night. The build-up to this match was really cool in my opinion. Roman Reigns punching Authority members, putting 70-plus-year-old Vince McMahon on his ass. Confetti fell, fireworks exploded, but the crowd booed when Roman Reigns finally got his hands on the World Heavyweight Championship. 10-year-old me was marking out, but I have sympathy for the fans today. I think this is where WWE really needed to take into account listening to audience feedback, and for that, I'm going to put it right over The Miz and John Cena in the pretty good category. So keeping the Roman Reigns train going, we have Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker in the main event of WrestleMania 33. At this point, The Undertaker's streak had been broken, and there's no title on the line, so the only thing they're fighting for is their yard. The whole storyline was basically built around that single concept, and if this match were a car, it would be leaking oil, running on 3 tires, and blasting Nickelback. Look at this photograph. I mean, Roman looked like he was trying to figure out how to respectfully beat up his goth grandfather. I mean, that tombstone reversal spot? Oh god. This was an awkwardly painful last ride for The Undertaker, as this was meant to be his retirement match, which we all know didn't happen. I really wish I could put this match higher, but unfortunately it's going to be our first addition to the mid-tier. You want more Roman Reigns? Too bad. Because next up we have WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. This is the match that taught WWE fans how to suffer. I mean, when I tell you WWE took a dip during this era, boy, I mean it. Brock F5'd Roman 6 times, and Roman kicked out of all of them. It kind of made Brock look like he was fighting a balloon animal. And through it all, that great crowd there in New Orleans decided, let's chant for this beach ball. Yes, folks, a beach ball got cheered louder than the actual main event. Just when we thought Roman was going to slay the beast, Brock was able to hit one final F5, finishing Roman off. Brock stood tall, he looked angry, we all knew he was not going to be on Raw on Monday. And now we for sure know he was mad because of that video with Vince. But hey, at least Beach Balls got over. The star power's there, but this match is not good, folks, and it's going right under The Undertaker and Roman Reigns. Oh my god, it's finally over. There's no more Roman main events until next year, but there's no more Roman main events. Ladies and gentlemen, this is WrestleMania 35. This is the year of Becky Lynch, and this is the year of a 7-hour pay-per-view. The build to this match felt just as long as the pay-per-view actually was, but the one thing I like about this is that the build was organic. Becky Lynch at that point had garnered so much fan support that they literally felt obligated to put their match in the main event of WrestleMania. That speaks volumes. Charlotte Flair came out in a helicopter, so that's points already. Joan Jett played Ronda Rousey out live. The match kind of had a shaky end. It was a weird roll-up with Becky and Ronda, but Becky 2 belts came out on top and held those things high in front of that New Jersey crowd. This is a fantastic match. I don't have any problems with this match, I don't think. So for me, I'm going to put it right under the Cena and Rock matches. I'm also going to move Roman and Brock just under Cena and Triple H. So next up, we have the main event for WrestleMania 36 Night 1. This is the start of the multi-night WrestleManias. And this one, we had AJ Styles versus The Undertaker. This is an absolute dream matchup. I mean, I never thought we would ever see that match. And the fact that we got it in a cinematic style match, I didn't know how to feel about it at first, but they absolutely delivered. The storyline build for this match was really funny. They got really personal and said some crazy shit. A lot of peeling back that Undertaker character, showing more of his layers, I guess. A lot came out of this match for both of these guys. I think Undertaker, he got a lot of closure from this match. AJ Styles got a lot more exposure as a professional goddamn worker. And we got one of the greatest memes of all time. I enjoyed this match. It was great. I think it was a really refreshing style for the WWE. I'm going to put it just above Randy Orton and Triple H at WrestleMania 25. So to follow that, in night 2, we had Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. What a precedent. What a story to put in this match. Drew McIntyre was the chosen one who got future endeavor and had one of the hardest bounce backs in pro wrestling history. Brock Lesnar was still our part-time all-time champion, and fans were goddamn sick of it. So Drew kind of slipped in there at the perfect time, and my god, he was over. But let's not pretend this match was a technical masterpiece. I can tell you the course of events in this match in order. Suplex, F5, kick out, F5 again, kick out again. Paul Heyman melting down and crying. 4 claymores, 1, 2, 3, that's it. That's the match. And it was great. Everybody loved it. Even though there was no people there, I enjoyed this. Even though it was kind of a socially distanced slugfest, Drew really deserved it, and I still think he needs to win another world championship. And I did make a video about that linked down below, where I explained every single damn reason why Drew McIntyre should be world champion again. It's a pretty fun match. Brock seemed on board with pretty much everything, so I'm going to put it right under Brock and Roman. Next up, we have WrestleMania 37 Night 1, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. A little context here, this match is historic. This is the first time 2 black women main evented WrestleMania. Had the first time women main eventing WrestleMania only been a few years prior. There was a lot on the line in this match. Sasha Banks had a 0 forever record at WrestleMania, kind of making her the Dallas Cowboys of the WWE. This match was magic though. There was lots of emotion, lots of tears. We also got the hair whip heard around the world. That shit was crazy. Roll the clip. Sasha got KO'd and Bianca stood tall with the SmackDown Women's Championship. This solidified Bianca Belair as a big player in the women's division. And look at her now. What a fun match this was. I am going to put it just over the Boneyard match. So next up, we have the WrestleMania 37 Night 2 match, the follow-up to Banks and Belair. This match was somewhat of a fever dream. You had Roman Reigns, who had just ascended from this babyface character and now was full-on mafia boss mode. You have Edge coming out of 7 years of retirement and now going for gold. There was a lot of heat and a lot of hype behind Edge. And I wouldn't have been surprised or mad if he won one of the titles that night. Daniel Bryan was the moral compass of this match. Everyone said that he inserted himself into it. It was a big meme. But if you put Daniel Bryan into a match like that, it's just going to up the professional wrestling caliber. It just increases the ratings, so I don't see a problem. This is where we really started to see those bloodline shenanigans. We also saw Edge really get into sort of an angry personality in the WWE, and it was really cool to watch. This all wrapped up with a stack 'em and pit 'em. Roman Reigns had no trouble beating these two to maintain his spot as the tribal chief for more years to come. This match is pretty good to me, and so I think it's very obvious where it should go. Right above Sasha and Bianca in the pretty good category. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, moving forward in our escapade, it is the next day. This video is taking way longer than I thought, but we're getting it done. Next up, we have the main event for WrestleMania 38 Night 1. We saw the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin as he took on Kevin Owens in an impromptu match during an episode of the KO show. The match is exactly what you would expect from a Stone Cold Steve Austin match. They battled all around the stadium. He came out on his ATV, what, stunner. You know the deal. The significance of it is that Kevin Owens got to main event WrestleMania, which is not the last time he'll do that. And Stone Cold and Vince McMahon even came out on night 2, and we had a Stunner City in the Austin Theory and Pat McAfee match. But this match itself is very enjoyable, nostalgic for most, so for that, I'm going to put it just over Roman at WrestleMania 37. So to follow that, we had the night 2 main event of WrestleMania 38, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar yet again for the World Heavyweight Championship, the unification title versus title match, the battle of the big boys. Who can flex harder and talk less? This was like WWE's version of Godzilla versus King Kong, and this was how to properly build Roman versus Brock. Them both having a title added a really cool dynamic because you really didn't know which way it could go. Even though I had my money on Roman. There was give or take 45 German suplexes in this match, but so much so Roman threw his shoulder out. There were no ladders, there were no tables. This was a pure brute force match. They went at each other, and I think this match was great. I really enjoyed this match, and Roman came out on top as the double champion. This is what really kickstarted that tribal chief era. That's what started the Bloodline. That's what started his crazy long reign. If it wasn't for this match, a lot of stuff that we are seeing today probably wouldn't have happened. So for that, I'm going to put it right under their match at WrestleMania 31. Next up, we have WrestleMania 39 in Hollywood, California. Crazy set this year. I absolutely loved that set. And our night one main event was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the tag team champions, the Usos. And it's crazy to think that a tag team championship match main evented WrestleMania. But hey, if it's 2 nights, it's pretty flexible. But this wasn't just a wrestling match. This was the end to a 9-month plus story of Sami Zayn joining the Bloodline, getting kicked out, rejoining, all of that leading up to this. The crowd was nuts the entire time. I mean, they were behind Sami and Kevin like insanely. And after a third haluva kick, Jay fell on his ass. 1, 2, 3. Kevin and Sami were your new champs, and this was amazing. Seeing those guys main event WrestleMania, achieving a dream that they both had been dreaming about their entire lives, all that being captured, 5 hearts out of 5, man. So for that, I'm going to put it above Drew and Brock at WrestleMania 36. Ladies and gentlemen, next up we have the big main event for Night 2, WrestleMania 39, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for both the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship before they combined them. This was the original story. This is where all the fans were behind Cody Rhodes, genuinely expecting to see him pick up the win at WrestleMania 39 and walk out with both those belts. Me and countless other people booked that to happen. Everything about this match screamed theater, grandiose, final boss, finale. There was over a year's story build to this, and the emotions were high. Of course, we had a bunch of run-ins from the Usos, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Solo, and just as Cody was about to finish the story, Solo came in with the spike, Roman hit him with a spear, and Roman is still your champion. And little did we know, Roman would remain champion for the whole next year. This was a big plot twist that a lot of people did not see coming, and it shocked the world. This match was fantastic. The shock factor was great. Cody sitting in the ring after all that chaos had occurred is one of the most compelling moments of all time. So for that, I'm going to put this match at the top of the pretty good section. So the main event of WrestleMania 39 started a story for the whole year for the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania 40. We have The Rock and Roman Reigns taking on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, and the winner would pick the stipulation for the Night 2 match, which would be Roman and Cody again. One of the focal points of this match was The Rock's return after 8 years of hiatus from wrestling for the WWE. The Rock stepped back into the ring, and this match was fantastic. They fought all over the stadium. The Rock actually had a lot of offense, had a lot of defense. He actually did a lot in this match, and he brought a new layer to his character in the final boss, telling the referee, if you count that pin, you're fired. The Rock was able to hit Cody Rhodes with the rock bottom, securing the win for the Bloodline, making the match for the Night 2 Bloodline rules. This match was fantastic. Just the amount of star power alone makes this match good. I mean, the 4 of the biggest faces that wrestling has ever produced. I don't think anything more could be said. I'm going to put this right under Cody and Roman at WrestleMania 39. This is probably subject to change though. So next up, we had the sequel. This WrestleMania feels like a movie because of all the crazy shit that happened. WWE spoiled us with this one. This was the part 2 to the year before, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. There's just so much story intertwined with these two guys, and how good the match was the year before, we knew this was going to deliver. And we knew that it had to be different if they wanted to top last year, and it was. The match started off as usual. Both men absolutely put it all out there, and towards the end, we had a bunch of insane, legendary interferences. Of course, the Bloodline came out. It was Bloodline rules. They came out to help their family. But we also got John Cena to come out and help Cody Rhodes. We got the Undertaker to come out and help Cody Rhodes. That is legendary stuff right there. That is worlds colliding. That is all eras of the WWE coming together to make one WrestleMania moment. And that shit is history making. After all those interferences, after all those WrestleMania moments, Cody Rhodes finally finished the story and won the Undisputed Championship. This is a massive moment for wrestling. This is a moment fans have been waiting for a long ass time. This is one of my favorite wrestling matches of all time. One of the most feel-good moments in WWE history. And for that, it is taking its rightful place in the GOAT category, going above Daniel Bryan. Say what you want in the comments, bro, but I'm sticking with that. So So next up we have the year following, which is just more and more spoiling from the WWE. The past few years have been absolutely golden in the WWE. The main event was Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, a match I never thought I'd see in WWE ever, especially knowing who CM Punk is and who CM Punk was at the time. All the entrances in this match were absolutely insane. Rollins had a godly-like entrance, CM Punk came out with Living Color, playing live, and Roman Reigns had his usual final boss style entrance, with all his family members hanging from screens on top of the arena. That shit was awesome. So the shocking plot twist at the end of this match, not to mention the match was insane. Paul Heyman was able to seize the opportunity of him bouncing in the middle of CM Punk and Roman Reigns, that he took a steel chair to both of them and aligned himself with Seth Rollins, forming a fresh new stable in the WWE that I think everyone is excited for. This sets a lot of storylines moving forward, and I'm really excited to see what WWE does with this. This match is absolutely groundbreaking, and for that, I'm going to put this match at the top of the amazing tier. And ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the final match of this tier, WrestleMania 41, Night 2, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. The main focal point of this match was that John Cena is a bad guy. John Cena had turned heel at Elimination Chamber and was and still is to this date on a terror run. On paper, this match should be one of the greatest matches in WWE history. Putting two of the biggest guys in the industry against each other would stir up a lot of heat. But after we found out that The Rock likely wasn't going to be involved and we weren't going to get any more questions answered, it left a bad taste in everyone's mouth, especially when Travis Scott came out and interfered in the match, making it feel worthless. Why couldn't The Rock have just came out then? With Travis Scott's help, Cena was able to deliver a low blow to Cody Rhodes and win the Undisputed Championship, giving Cena his record 17-time World Championship. This is supposed to be a massive moment in WWE history. No one has won this many world titles, but Cena is just standing there with Travis Scott. And I know that was Cena's point to ruin wrestling, to ruin the main event, but at what point are you just costing people money? I still enjoyed the match itself, but I definitely had a bad taste in my mouth after the fact. And because of that, I'm going to put it in between the two Cena Rock matches. I feel like that's a good spot. Alright, so there's definitely some changes I want to make to this before we finish this off. So this is the finished list before I edit it. Something I want to do is I want to move The Rock and Roman Reigns tag match just above career versus streak at WrestleMania. I'm going to take John Cena versus Triple H at WrestleMania 22 and put it just under Stone Cold and KO. And I think those are all the changes I'm going to make, and I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. This is your official ranking from WrestleMania 22 to WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. Take a screenshot, comment your thoughts. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Where would you put some of these matches? But that is going to wrap up this video. If you want to see more from this channel, check out the YouTube shorts, check out all the stuff linked in the bio, my TikTok, my BTB channel where I do stuff with my friends, and also my personal TikTok to see reactions from all the current stuff happening in WWE right now. If you're a pro wrestling fan, I promise you're going to love this YouTube channel, so make sure you stick around, click through the next video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
That's interesting.